Hi everyone, this is Tina Create the Heart, and I'm back with nearing the end of my little mini series on different ways to make beach, sea, ocean style backgrounds. And so today, and I think the next video is going to be focusing on paper. So for this one, I'm going to be using Sail In by Not Too Shabby Shop, along with the ephemera. And so the thing about paper pads is that, a lot of paper pads, you can make them be sea. They can be, a lot of times I will use patterned green papers for grass or different blue paper for sky. And so you can have that same sort of idea for the sea or beach and so on. Like, for example, for this one, I might use this gold paper for sand, or even this paper right here. And then you can use, different papers in here to represent the sea. Okay, so there are also papers in here. Sometimes there are papers that are sort of designed to be for the sea. For example, this one right here could be sand, could also be the bottom of the ocean. This one for sure is definitely a sea-oriented paper. So sometimes you can look at your paper pads in ways like that. It doesn't have to be like a solid green. It could be a pattern green for grass and so on. And a lot of times I do use my paper pads that way. So the other thing that I'm going to be using is the Not Too Shabby Shop Easy Wonder die. So the Easy Wonder die is a Not Too Shabby Shop product. There's a lot of companies that do similar dies where it's like a layout die. What makes this one unique is that you can just run this through a 6x6 piece of paper one time and get all these different pieces. So usually they're more like the add-on die, which is all these different pieces that you then can place together and make a layout with. So the Easy Wonder die 1 and 2, I use number 1 for the cards that I'm making today, do this whole, put it in with a 6x6 paper pad one time, and then you've got all these different papers to work with. One pass, no scrap left behind kind of thing. You have hardly any pieces to throw away. So those are really cool. And then now they've come out with add-ons that kind of work with, this one's supposed to work with Easy Wonder 1, and this one is supposed to work with Easy Wonder 2, mainly because it's got these ovals, but I mean, I don't know, there might be, probably is a way to kind of maybe even encompass, the different ones. All of these could probably work together somehow. And what's nice too about the add-ons is then you've got basic dies that you can then use for anything, right? Ovals are great for anything. And squares are good for anything, But anyway, so I basically used a little bit of the Easy Wonder die add-on, and I used this one right here. I think I ran it through maybe once or twice. Maybe it was only once. I can't remember now. But let's get into it because I have some other cards I hopefully will have time to do. All right, so so these are pretty easy for me to do because they're pretty easy. So you can see the square here. And so, you could just kind of place these however you want to kind of give that feel, right? Like this. And I'm actually going to do a little bit of foam tape on this one. I don't do foam on this one. So it's really fun to kind of play around with, the layouts. And this is a very simple layout, but just to give you kind of an idea of what you can do. So like that is probably when I do something like that. So you can do whatever you want, but it's just kind of playing with the different papers to kind of Okay, so for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some foam. This is the ephemera that matches this. And this is great foam. This is some foam that I had gotten in the kit. I just kind of keep it at my desk here. I have two desks. They're kind of back to back with each other. So this, and then I have my sentiment, which is just going to go right on the top right here. And I just kind of keep, I have a bunch of scissors, so I keep like the scissors here at this desk. This is a desk I film. I sometimes will do my stenciling at this desk because it's got a bigger glass mat. Okay, so there's that one. And then I'm going to go over all the other ones I made. So here's this one, and this one is using a square. And I've got this like wave piece that came in the ephemera. So there's lots of different ways to give that sort of, you know, beach impression. But you can play around with it. But yeah, just looking at the paper, you know, and seeing what gives that kind of look. And I've got this ephemera piece. And I've got this sentiment, which comes from the stamp set, June stamp set from the Not Too Shabby Shop. So there's this card right here. Okay, now we're moving on to the next one, and then I'll show you the quick cards that I made. So this one is from the Easy Die 1. And so because I'm using paper that is double-sided, you can flip the other side and get like a different look. So that's what I did here. Okay. Actually, this one, I think I might put, this one I might put here. So here we have another sailboat. So this one has a lot of sailboats. I have this little Captain Girl. Okay. So now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to kind of do a layering situation. So this also comes from, I think, the Easy Wonder 1 die. And then this sentiment is from Tailored Expressions. There we go. All right, so here we go is card number 1. There's a second card. And then here are some other cards that I made using those dies with that paper. These are very clean and simple cards. All right, so that is one way to use paper. Okay, so now we're on to the second paper I want to show you is that I'm going to do this in another video too, but you've got paper that is really geared towards ocean or sea type scenes. And so I'm going to show you some paper in the next video as well. But this is new to me. La La Land Crafts just came out with one too that I think is much more sort of geared towards tropical beach scenes, but it's also great. So you get all this wonderful paper, which is geared, it's double-sided, so you've got some sides that you can use that are a little more solid. But you can see the other side has this wave paper. But definitely a lot of paper that can be used for oceans and for scenes. And so this paper is amazing. So this paper is going to show up in probably another video for this as well. So let's put this back in here so I don't like bend it or lose it or whatever. So let's get into the cards I'm going to make using this paper. I think this paper is amazing. So I have got, so using the Under the Sea, this is CC Designs and the dies. I've had that forever. And I'm using the nested dies. These are arch dies from scrapbook.com. And so what I did was I made a, this is like a stick. I made a card using, I think, the third largest die. So I made a card. And then this paper I had used for something else. And so it's like, it's okay because I'm going to cover it. Like, it's okay. It happens. So I'm going to cover that bottom because I didn't want to waste this paper. It's paper so pretty that I just want to use like every inch of it. So I'm using this paper that is really designed to be a scene. So it's just beautiful. So I'm just really loving the creativity of these companies now and everything that they are doing. It's just really amazingly beautiful. So then I've got all these little pieces that I had left over from other projects, and I'm going to place this down here. And it's just, I mean, it's just to give a little bit of something. It's not like supposed to be, you know, end all be all, but you know, I want to use this stuff up, and it just gives a little bit of something here, even though the paper really kind of just does it all. I mean, it's, press this down. The paper is, wow. And this came in actually my Courtyard kit from Pink and Main. You know, it came with all the sea stuff. It was really a good kit this go around. Not to say they're not all great, but this one in particular was pretty amazing. I don't know what happened to my sentiment. I had a sentiment for this card, so it might pop up. Don't worry about it. It's not the most important part because the sentiment actually fits on the outside, so I'm not too concerned. So hopefully it'll show up. We'll see what happens. I don't know, I've got stuff all over the place, so we'll see. It also came with this particular kit. Came with these sequins, which I'm going to be using for my shaker card. So there we go. And then I have gone ahead and created the shaker inside. And these arch dies, I have used them so much. And if you get them when they're having, you know, one of their sales, it is a really good value, I think. All right, so there we go. And then just kind of place it over, press down. And now I've got my, so you could always trim if you're kind of off a little bit. I don't really worry too much about it because I'm going to cover a lot of this up. It's going to stick off the edge, which is exactly what I'm looking for. that one. And these are colored with my Copics. And there you go. Isn't that cute? All right, so there's that card. Now we're going to move on to this card right here. Like I said, I have no idea what happened to my sentiment, so hopefully it will show up. But the sentiment's just going to go here at the bottom of this card. I'm going to put a little sentiment right here. But see how cute that looks? So happy with that. Okay, so I'm using that paper again from Pink and Maine. But this time I'm also using this Stampin' Die set from Mama Elephant called Mermaid Kisses, which I've had for a long time and I just have not hardly ever used, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm starting, these are all A2 size cards, or this is an A2 size card. And so this kit came with some solid cardstock too. And so I'm using one of the colored cardstocks that came in the kit. This is pretty green. And I selected this paper. I think it goes this way. It's my fish aren't upside down. This is maybe one of my favorite kits. It's just, everything works so well, and it's pretty nice. Okay, so then I made a miscalculation in my cutting of this, so I kind of have to piece it together, but it happens. So I just used a hill die, and you know, it's a pattern. It's not going to really be noticed because I am going to cover it up with a bunch of stuff, so I'll make sure that it doesn't get noticed that it's missing. So now I kind of want to figure out where everything is going to go to make sure I have enough space. So it's going to be kind of like this. And it's going to be kind of like that. Okay, so no worries. We've got plenty of space for stuff. So I am using a lot of leftover pieces from other projects, and these dies are also from the Pink and Maine dies that came out last month. And this kit's worth every penny. It was a very, very good value when you get the kit. I'm actually, for this, I'm using like every piece of it, so I think that's pretty amazing. But yeah, I'm going to be using like every bit of this kit. So the paper, the dies, I'm going to be using the embossing folder in another video. I think everything but the stencil. I didn't think I used the stencil, so I may try to use that stencil. Okay, so now I can go ahead and kind of place some pieces down. And this is a super fun card. All these little fun, like, little elements. Just really make this super fun. And this little shell. So I am loving the papers. You know, all the unusual fun papers that have been coming out that really help you make some scene cards. And then we have these little drops. I'm going to go ahead and use these. So let's see. I think I'm going to do just like a couple here and there, just to kind of add to the card. And there we go. So, oh, I forgot to add this little guy. Just that one. I think I'm going to add a few. I mean, these are self-adhesive, but I do like adding glue, kind of just in case, kind of helps it stick. Does it want to stick? Or, there we go. All right, so we've got these two cards made with that really cute pink and Maine paper, and I just think it's adorable. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I have another video on paper coming up, and if you're watching these as they are showing up on my channel, the videos are one day apart until I've done all of the videos. I think there's going to be 10 videos total. Thank you for watching. This is Cindy Crank the Heart.